Hello. Have a good Saturday. I'm just going to make a live video today, atypical for the format that you are used to. Let me just check if everybody can see the live. Yes, I have some people already connecting. Hello, and yes, it's live. Audio is live. So, guys, I wanted to update you a little bit of about the situation with the 6 bankruptcy claims, the ones that our favorite hiker, fellow Mr. Progression, is talking about on Nordnet, like the expert he is. I advise him to find a better job than the one he seems to have, which is hiking in the south of France when it's not the season to do that. So probably he doesn't even have a possibility to buy tickets at the correct price. So usually when you go to the south of France, you enjoy a good bottle of wine in Grasse, smoke a very expensive cigar, not hike like him when there is not even the season to do that. So yeah, don't listen to people like that. They're just mean, ugly persons. So let's look to exactly the documents, and we have the files. It's 6 files that I got yesterday from the court about the bankruptcy claims, and I want to set things straight. The judge yesterday had absolutely no let's say that the case had no connection with the 6 bankruptcy claims. What the judge has said is that because there are 6 bankruptcy claims registered, she believes that it is safer for the company to be under liquidation. That means that there is somebody taking care of the company. Okay? So the judge didn't take any sort of decision on the 6 bankruptcy claims. No, she has set a date on the 20th of May, so in 1 month, to discuss these 6 bankruptcy claims, and I have received them and I got them in front of you, and I will share it totally so that everybody can understand. So again, please understand something. The judge has just appointed Thijs as liquidator, which is a procedure that is outside the bankruptcy procedure. It's a different law. It's based on the request of dissolution from the Danish Business Authority, and has nothing to do with bankruptcy claims. Okay. So we have 90 days to correct the administrative task. And it was one of the scenarios that we were hoping to happen, to be honest with you. We never thought it will happen to be that lucky that Thijs is appointed as the liquidator should the company become put under this dissolution. Because what does it mean for everybody to understand? So in this period, short or long, I would have been in the position to find an auditor, which is a task that, with the media pressure and with the lack of documents and everything that was blocked by Thijs, was an uphill battle. So the risk for us to find an auditor in the next, let's say, 2 weeks, when was the term that the DBA has given us, would be mission impossible and would be a failure on my side. So I believe that the judge has made a very clever, although you might think it's not, decision, meaning that we got a liquidator in place. What I don't find very transparent is why Thijs has become, because I believe that Thijs should be normally not in this position. But as he is in this position, is only good for us, because in the next, he thinks it's good for him, but actually I will explain to you why it's good for us. Because in the next weeks or so, till we our plan will unravel, and it will be a shock. And of course, I will explain it on Substack, and I will explain the steps on how this plan will unravel. And I hope that you, as intelligent followers, will understand it very well. And we will make sure that this is correctly presented. For the next period of time while Thijs is liquidator, he will try to put the company back into bankruptcy. That is his only mission. Most likely on Monday, he will already submit a new bankruptcy claim. But The bankruptcy, as a liquidator, he will request the company to be put in liquidation. But this is a different scenario because Thijs has the same role as I had before. So he's a director, in a sense, under this procedure of liquidation. So he takes the full burden and responsibility. And what we made very clear in front of the court is that the company is solvent and has a lot of assets. So we are in a procedure where the liquidator should begin selling some of these assets if the company goes into dissolution or goes towards dissolution. It's a rather unique scenario. Not many companies and from our caliber have been in this situation, most likely none, in Denmark. But what I can tell you is that it's not really a bad thing, at least for me and for you personally. Of course, the best scenario would have been that everything is canceled, then we will find an auditor, and then we start trading on the stock exchange. But again, the market in Denmark is very small. And all the auditors and all the lawyers are connected and they know each other. And the media shock surrounding Shape, you've seen also yesterday, I received so many pictures. It's like I was a superstar with paparazzi surrounding me. Have always hi Bo. Have always been more or less pressuring against the existence of Shape. Okay, I don't know why, and most likely we will find out why. I promised Bo that I will invite you to the live, so I'm inviting you now because you joined. Here is the link. Whoever wants, they can. I will allow them to come into the live. So more or less, the situation is exactly where we wanted it to be because we have planned for this. Okay, we have planned for this scenario, so there is not a surprise for us. The only surprise, and it's a good surprise, was that Thijs was named again in the same position, which is a very bad position for him. So more or less, it would have been impossible for us to find an Danish auditor, so we had to find an international one. And here it gets tricky and complicated and complex, and I will explain to you why it's irrelevant who places claims right now in the bankruptcy court in Denmark or surrounding Thijs' activity today. So I will explain to you there are exactly 6 bankruptcy claims, and I will share them with you, of course, but I will read exactly the amounts and the creditor. So first of all, we have the file, I don't know if you can see it, K29925. It's a bankruptcy claim from the tax authority surrounding employees, and it's 500,000 crowns. That is one bankruptcy claim that was from the end of combined to the one that trade did that caused the initial bankruptcy, where we were not served correctly, which we could have defended. The other one is trade. A claim is 33725. Okay, which is in a total value of 2,600,000 crowns, which we knew about it. And now that surprises. We have a bankruptcy claim filed the same day on the 20th when we had the court date. The bankruptcy claim here 653 on 26. And this is, guess who? Guess who's back? Kronman Roymert. So it's the bankruptcy claim from Thijs. Okay, Danske Bank and AFO. Again, another file, which is the AFO case 652. You can see it, which is AFO. And Interlex, who is 100,000 K1826, 100,000 crowns for an employee. Okay. And the final one, Nicolas Laverde, K29325, initial claim from an employee. So we are talking about 6 bankruptcy claims. Hi, Marius. With a total, so I'm reading them. The Danske Bank claim is 14 million crowns. The A4 claim is 6 million crowns. We all knew about it. Annette Olsen, which is representing the lawyer that represents the, I don't know how it's called, unions, 843,000 crowns. Trade 2 million crowns, and the 2 employees another 400,000 crowns. So in total, everything is 24 million crowns. I remind you, very important, that the total value of the estate at this moment is, let me check exactly the numbers, 330 million crowns. So a percentage of less than 5% is the ones that are asking for bankruptcy, because the rest, guess what? They don't want bankruptcy. So of course, we know very well right now that Thijs is desperate to fix his errors. So he would most likely want to be back and protect the documents that he didn't share, and he will get a lot of good surprises for our side. But what I want to say is that these bankruptcy claims are irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant in the context of what is a principle called COMI. So everybody has to understand something very important. In Europe, since 2000, and I'm reading exactly the article, just not to make a mistake, and of course you will see it also later when I publish the article itself on Substack, that always comes together with the video. So we have a principle from 2025 that is called COMI Center of Main Interest 173. This article in the European regulation states that in case of let's say, I don't know the term cross-border. Sorry, I was having a lapse of cross-border bankruptcies. The center of business, which is Romania, becomes the main bankruptcy estate. So at the moment, I am the director in Romania. The business has been and always has been transparent in that direction, has been operating mostly as a center of main interest in Romania, and then extended, of course, in Finland as a secondary center. So as you can see also from the bankruptcy claims, it's absolutely irrelevant what happens today in Denmark. The battle of the people that wanted to shut us up in relation to the pump and dump, which has proven beyond reasonable doubt that exists and everything, have absolutely no tools to control anymore the company. We won in court. We won the battle in the high court. We canceled the bankruptcy. We put everything in order. With the only thing that was missing is the auditor. And luckily for us, we have somebody taking care of the company, which has a lot of obligations, and we can relax and make sure that we are now doing the restructuring. So the company has absolutely no problem at this moment to continue as it is. The only, let's say, delay will be to resume the trading. But again, this is not really something that will take too long to put back into place. So what is more important right now is to understand the exact nature of the claims and the creditors, to build up very well the plan of re-engaging the company. And this is not something that will be done through Denmark. It is something that will be done through the power of the creditors generated from the center of interest, which is not Denmark. So unfortunately, the business has always been done outside the borders of Denmark, and that's why you see marginal 6 bankruptcy claims is nothing uh, when we are talking about right now the contamination that has occurred from the wrongful bankruptcy that basically destroyed value in the subsidiary. So what I want to explain again, and this is something that will come always as an explanation in the next months, we have a very toxic situation in which the bankruptcy in Denmark, although irrelevant from the perspective of the creditors of the group, has become extremely relevant to the creditors of the subsidiary when the cross-contamination occurred. And that cross-contamination meant that the trustee, and this is something that I will explain now first time, in the 59 days, the company in Denmark was run by Thijs. The company in Denmark had assets in the subsidiaries that that were written down to zero, which was basically the equity investment in the subsidiaries, 100% ownership of those subsidiaries. In that interval of time where the trustee was in charge of the subsidiaries had no management. And it's exactly why the situation in Denmark right now creates such a fuss about not having the correct management and everything, for the Danish Business Authority, for the Romanian Business Authority, for the Finnish Business Authority, for the Polish Business Authority. It was exactly the same situation. 59 days, no management, because Thijs has done zero to put managers into place and to keep the companies working. That's why we have forced bankruptcies or insolvency cases or dissolution cases in the subsidiaries because they have had no management. So what you see right now is something that we predicted. We know that is good in the whole picture because it shows you what could happen when things are not done in order. And this is what happened in the subsidiaries during the 59 days. And pay attention, me as a CEO and the board elected, we still have no chance of putting the Danish Business Authority in the situation to accept our registrations because we still didn't receive the documents of the company, which they still sit with the trustee, and now they're still with the liquidator. So the fault lies 100% on the lack of judgment and professionalism of the trustee. But now the situation is even nicer in the sense that he has another job that he will poorly execute. More reason for us to build up a very beautiful claim against him and restructure the company in order. So I hope I've made myself understood very clearly. The decision yesterday was a technical decision, a decision that had to do with administrative things, meaning the company had an issue with registering the EGM in time. It's grotesque because we have sent it in the same day. But again, let's not waste too much time on that decision till we see it written, because we have to see the exactly what the court has written in the minutes, and I will share next week because I find it also a little bit unclear. And in these discussions that we will have and always have, we are not commenting on the decisions of the court. So the court is supreme. There is an appeal. If we have anything to say, we will say it in the appeal. What we say is that exactly the same scenario has happened during the bankruptcy period of Shape Denmark in the subsidiaries. Subsidiaries were left without administration that caused bankruptcy and contamination. And those contaminations that you see in the subsidiaries have crossed borders and now are basically a group level. So, long story short, this is not a Danish affair anymore. So they can do whatever they want left and right. This is an affair that will be solved in a totally different way that you will enjoy and like, and we will be back on track sooner than you think, or on a new track that we are already prepared for. So that's what I wanted to say. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, it was an ad hoc live, so I know that you're all enjoying the weekend. I don't want to keep you, but please, I will give you a couple of minutes. If not, it was important that you have access to this information, so there is not you won't have the case of the confusion. So tell me, how may I be of service? Marcel Magnifique, you don't have a weekend? I thought you were running with progression on hiking for 1,000 I don't know, kilometers, 1,000 kilometers in the south of France. The guy must have been mad. Yes, Karsten, I think that you have been very active on Nordnet. Explain to people that the situation is very, very technical. It's administrative. Of course, there was always a risk because we were blocked, and this is what Thijs was following, but we knew it from day one, and I've shared it on Substack. We know what these guys are doing. We know every step. They are not that smart. Check the Vivino profile of Mr. Tyson. You will know who the guy is. He doesn't drink the best wines, I can tell you. Good. Karsten, any questions regarding the technical aspects? Because I know that you have been always very serious in the analysis and thorough. Good. May you all have a very good weekend, relaxing. I will enjoy also my weekend. Tomorrow I have an important date because we're preparing something big for next week. So I will go and drink a beer with Alex and enjoy some times with our daughters, and we will continue this journey. It was funny. I felt myself, my daughter was like, wow, you're like a superstar. You look like the wall. Because I don't know if you noticed, but on the picture on Borsen, there was another person near me and they cut it in post-production, but they forgot to cut the legs. So this is exactly the level of the, let me share you. This is something that I want to share with you. So you would laugh. Watch this one. So this is the level of the journalism done today, okay? So check this out. Let's enjoy a little bit. Entire screen. Check this out. Okay, so here you can see the legs. Yeah, you can see some legs. You see them? Let me do it main screen. So let me show you. See? So they use AI to do what sort of image like this one, you know? And then where is the person? Because that's my bag and these are the legs. Jesus. Please don't pay for these newspapers. And let me tell you also a funky story. So I'm I was laughing after I exited. I couldn't I was laughing with Alex about the media coverage and everything, and they were like, why are you laughing? This is very bad. I need a picture with you looking sad. I said, what the why should I look sad? It was funny. Good. So I'll let you enjoy. Have a good weekend. Appreciate again your support and keep strong. Hugs. Bye.